It's time now for Fort Leboeuf Bison football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Visit sunny1057fm.org for all of the action all season long. Brought to you by the Corry Federal Credit Union at corryfcu.org.
Additional support comes from Brozell Construction, Family Inc. Innovations, Leboeuf Creek Cattle, Waterford Beverage, Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill, High T Fence Systems, O'Brien Transmission, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Jim Brozell Construction, Wise Physical Therapy, and Al's Appliance Sales and Service.
All right, good evening, and welcome to Linden Field here in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania. We have another good matchup for you tonight as the Fort Leboeuf Bison are taking on the General McLane Lancers. Both teams come into tonight's game in first place in their respective regions, as Fort Leboeuf is 3-2 overall, and General McLane is 4-1. Both last week, both teams played kind of opposite style games, as the Bison were defeated 14-6 in a game that they shot themselves in the foot many times with penalties, and but defensively they played well, only giving up 14 points, while General McLane defeated. Who did they defeat? They defeated Corry last week, 49-18, as that was their fourth straight victory for the Lancers. So I'm Doug Gilghrist alongside my partner Ben Brozich, and so Ben, what are some of the keys to tonight's game for the Bison to come out on the winning end?
Well, I did a deep dive on a lot of the stats and researched the team a little bit here for the GM Lancers, and some things stood out to me. But first, let's go over the basic stats. First of all, Fort Leboeuf has to have a good ground game tonight if they have any chance of winning this game. All right, we have 1,027 rushing yards in 5 games. That's about 205 a game. Sadowski accounts for 642 of those yards, 7.2 yards a carry, 6 TDs. His biggest play, 61 yards. Now that's really good, and Dominic Walters has 217 yards rushing and 1 rushing TD. Passing, we're at 451 yards, 4 TDs, and only 1 interception, and that's great. The problem is we have 10, 11, 12, 13 penalties, and that is absolutely keeping us from getting any momentum, getting in the end zone, and showing the dominance in which they're capable of having. But they are very much a ground game. There's a lot of reasons why that concerns me a little bit, though, because we have Walters playing quarterback and safety. So if we're a grounds game, I want to point out what the GM Lancers are. Okay, they're an air attack. 1,337 passing yards in 5 games. That's 267 yards per game. You rarely see that in high school.
Absolutely.
Unless you have a very talented team. Okay, QB number 15, Michael Caro, senior. He's on fire. Everybody said he could have played last year and been just as great. But they had Zeitz quarterbacking, and Zeitz never did anything to lose the starting position. And the Zeitz to Zeitz connection last year was amazing. Okay? So now this young man gets a chance to start, and he's just destroying everyone. Then you have number 28, Kyle McConnell, 333 yards, 6 TDs. Jake Corwin, tight end, 294 yards, 2 TDs. Connor Haller, Jack Kaiser, 386 yards, 6 TDs combined. The running game's not flashy, but effective. 718 yards, 13 total TDs. So they're bringing it just as much as the passing game. They're a throw-first team, however. Now, why is that going to be a problem? All right, well, Dominic Walters plays quarterback and safety or DB, right? We've seen him pick off a lot of passes. If they're passing the ball and Dominic Walters is covering everybody, by halftime, his tongue is going to be hanging out. Is he going to be able to be effective at QB? Is he going to be able to run that ball when there's no passing? And that's the concern. Now, you might think, okay, they play tough defense. He doesn't run too many plays. Here's a deep dive into the roster that I did that really, really stands out. General McLane has 66 players on the team. 42 of them are 11th and 12th graders. 42. They could make 2 offenses and 2 defenses, and then you might say, well, they're not all great football players. I'm lucky enough to know some of the players on the team. I've seen them grow up since childhood, and I'm telling you right now, the off-season program, the in-shape program these kids have, their dexterity, their ability to push through and be strong at the end of the game will rival any other high school in Western PA. They just have that kind of regimen going on during the off-season. And so if you have 42 upperclassmen that are in shape, can know how to tackle, know how to catch, know how to run, know how to block, you're not gonna be able to do what you think you're gonna be able to do in the third and fourth quarter. So I know Fort Leboeuf likes to bring their A game coming out of halftime. If they are gonna have a chance at winning this game, they have to be consistent. They have to put together their best game of the season. And I'm gonna have a number here. If they get 5 penalties or under, they're gonna have a chance to win. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win, but they'll have a chance to win. It'll be close towards the end. If they give up more than 5 penalties, I don't see how their offense is going to keep up with General McLane. Now, when we talk about the passing game, this isn't necessarily like Farrell. Farrell had so many players that could just run a streak down the field. Oh, okay, we have the band going. I apologize. But they have so many kids that could stretch the field instantly. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Our national anthem. Okay. Sorry about that. Our timing was a little off. Ooh, and some nice fireworks. So if they're going to expect to hang with GM tonight, they have to get some 3 and outs on defense. They got to stop them. They got to make sure that Walters is rested enough that he can contribute on both sides of the ball. But if they just GM just replaces their players and gives other kids a little bit of a breather, the Bisons just don't have that depth.
Absolutely. And, going back to your point about Walters, it's kind of a catch-22 because you saw him take a few defensive snaps off last week, and that's when Grove City was the most effective, moving the ball down the field.
I think they got their second score when he was sitting.
Absolutely. So, Walters is their best defensive back, but like you said, if he's wearing himself out on defense, how effective is he going to be running the offense? So,
well, and we saw him with not his typical motion last week. Now, I don't know if that was physical. I don't know if that was mental. I don't know if that's because he was indecisive because of the defensive schemes, but it looked more like he was shot putting it instead of snapping it like he normally does.
Right.
So you're absolutely correct. What's going to happen if he's not out there?
Yep. So it'll be interesting. General McLane, as you've alluded to already, has a very high-powered offense. And the Lancers are averaging 42 points per game this season.
Well, yeah, and it's not even that they're just better athletes or faster athletes. They're trained. When you see those wide receivers run today, it looks almost like a pro offense. They know where to find the empty space when the defense is playing zone.
Right.
They know how to read a defender and make a change in the mid-route, and the quarterback reads the same thing on the defense, and they can make that happen. I don't know that the Bisons have that kind of passing game.
Right, and they definitely don't. So that's Skylar Sadowski is going to be a big key for the Bison. If they can get their running game going early and keep the Lancers offense off the field, I think that'll be a big key to their success.
Yeah, and one last thing to add before we start the game as they go out for the coin toss. There's a player that hasn't played much this year. He hurt his knee last year for GM. He's coming back. He played last week. Hurt his shoulder a little bit after the game. But he's coming back in this week. His name is Corry Weber. He's number 60. He's a defensive end. And he's already gotten an offer from St. Vincent in Latrobe, even after knee surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So this kid hasn't been playing, and they've already been dominating.
Right.
So if he's coming back healthy, I'm not sure how many snaps he's going to have, but he's going to provide an extra layer of defense, and he does know how to shut down the run game on his side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very strong kid. He knows how to persevere. He knows how to deal with discomfort, and he just loves football. He eats, sleeps, and breathes it. So an already powerful team is going to have another all-star come back and really help them compete for the rest of the season to try to win states.
Yeah, definitely. And, GM, even just looking at the sidelines, this is definitely the biggest team in terms of number of players that Fort Leboeuf has played this year. So, stamina isn't going to come into play here. Both teams are going to be able to withstand the game. And we have another beautiful night here, too, so it's a perfect night for football.
This has probably been the most beautiful football season so far that you could possibly ask for.
Absolutely. We're 6 games in, and I don't think we've had a game under 70 degrees at game time. So, so it's definitely been good, as it looks like the Lancers are going to receive the opening kickoff.
No, I did see in pregame, I saw Kantz kicking, but I also saw Belos, number 5, kicking. So I'm not sure if that's because of the kicking issues in the past couple weeks. I'm not sure if that's due to an injury, but they are prepared to have 2 different kickers if necessary.
Yep. Yeah, Kantz, after a hot start and some long kicks this year, he has 2 47-yarders this year, but he's only 4 for 11. There's been some snapping and holding difficulties as well on the kicking end. So,
well, in pregame, I saw him kicking from the 30-yard line, and he was putting a good 15 yards past the goalpost.
Yeah.
So his strength is there. The accuracy and the snap and all those things that go together are probably what's in question.
Yeah, and he's out there now. And out of 13 kickoffs this year, he has 10 touchbacks. So look for another one here as he booms it deep. And it will reach the end zone as he continues that touchback streak.
Well, and that's a positive start, and we all know how important Kantz is to, the football team. He's basically one of the MVPs. And if we can win at defense and we can win on special teams, we have a chance.
Definitely. As Matt Caro lines up at quarterback in an empty set. 5 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Both teams shift as they shift back into the backfield as it's handed off, and he goes nowhere as he's swarmed under at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a yard.
Yep, that was number 27, and that was Aiden Strutchin. I've been saying his name quite a bit lately. And that was a good, solid tackle.
Yeah. And that was Beachley, number 22, with the carry. They line up, second down, handoff again up the middle. He gets a little bit of running room up to the 25. He's still moving his legs. And he's brought down at about the 26.
Yeah, there was a lot of stutter step in there. They didn't have great blocks, but they had just enough to kind of slowly move. He actually got more yardage from being patient, and they're in a hurry-up offense.
Yep, they're back at it. That was.
They got one of the Bisons to jump, number 62.
I believe that was Jared Corwin with the run on that last play.
Carson Stoles, I think, jumped.
And that will be the first penalty of the game on Fort Leboeuf, and that gives them a free first down.
Okay, so that's our first one. They do like to try to guess the snap count. I don't know if that's going to work against Edinburgh. I think they're savvy enough that they can get you to jump.
Here's a handoff up the middle again, and he breaks into the secondary and gets almost a first down. He gets to get about 9.
Yeah, you can tell
that was Beachley on that run.
You can tell the DBs are playing back a little bit when the ball's snapped because they don't want to get beat with the passing game. There is a flag on the ground.
And that's going to move it back 10 yards as there's a hold on the play.
All right, now each team has a penalty on this drive.
And kind of surprised that they're coming out running the ball. Their quarterback, Matt Caro, set a school record last week with 346 yards passing. But they are trying to begin the game establishing the run. So this will set up a 1st and 20. The 22. Caro back there. 3 wide receivers to the left as a little shovel pass up the middle, and that goes nowhere.
Yep.
As he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think what they're probably trying to do here is I once heard Bill Cowher say when they played the Colts in the playoffs for his only Super Bowl victory, he said if you pass early, you do that so you can run late.
Yep.
And if you run early, you do that so you can pass late. So I don't expect this running game to be anything other than kind of softening the Bisons up, lulling them to sleep a little bit, and then they might try to take their shot deep. Almost working the body like a boxer.
Absolutely. Caro takes a snap, handoff again up the middle. He gains about 5 or 6 yards up to the 30-yard line. That was P.J. Mitchell with the carry.
It's going to be about 3rd and 12.
Yep. Well, they did have that shovel pass, but this might be the first traditional pass of the game here. As Caro takes a snap, back to pass. He throws it short, up to the 30, to 35, and he's got the first down up to the 45-yard line.
He set the blockers up. When he came around the side there and he saw all those Bison defenders, you could tell he stayed away from the sideline just enough to be able to shoot in there right at the end for the first down.
And they're going to the no huddle. As there's a pitch out to number 1, P.J. Mitchell, who gets another first, or close to a first down, gets about 9 yards, about 8 yards, as they're back up to the line of scrimmage again.
Well, and they might be running the ball also to tire Sadowski.
Absolutely.
So just like they are probably going to try to tire Walters.
And there's a handoff around the left end. He's got a first down and more up to over the 40 to the 38-yard line. And that was Nick Swenson, number 3, as they're right back at it.
Yeah, they're making this look way too easy.
Yep. And there's a direct snap to Corwin as they go to a little wildcat action there. And he gains about another 7 yards.
Do you see how everybody for GM knows exactly what they're doing and where they're going? There's no confusion. Everybody's laser beam focused.
Absolutely. 2nd and 5 at the 33. Caro back to pass, looking deep. He's got a man, and it's knocked away by Hunter Huck of the Bison.
That was a wonderful play, and that's going to help the Bisons get a little bit of confidence covering these receivers because he stuck with him the whole way down.
Absolutely. That's going to set up a 3rd down and 5 here. We're under 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score still. General McLane with their first possession of the game. And Caro takes the snap. Back to pass. Slant over the middle, and it is through the hands of Jared Corwin.
At 55, Caden Milner, he made the right play. He was playing the receiver, but if he would have been playing the ball, he very well could have had an interception there.
Yep. And that'll bring up 4th down. And for the first time in the game, General McLean goes back into the huddle. And it's a big play early on as the Bison trying to stop them on downs and get the ball back for the first time. Caro takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He rolls off to the right. He's got a man wide open. And that is number 28, Kyle McConnell. and he is dropped at the 21-yard line. But once again, another first down for the Lancers as they are hurried up. And he takes a snap, hands it off. We're on the right side. He's got a shot for the end zone, and he is in for a touchdown.
That was way, way too easy.
That was Cohen Beachley on the carry, and they
did whatever they wanted to do.
Yep, they went right through Fort Leboeuf's defense.
Yeah, they screened past it. They wildcatted it. They ran the ball. They passed the ball.
Yep, the Bison didn't have an answer for that one.
I think for the Bison to win this game, those pass knockdowns need to be interceptions.
Absolutely. Yeah, they need to get some turnovers to have a shot here. And here's the extra point kick. It's up, and it is good. And that makes the score 7-0 General McLane with 7.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And we will take a break for a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
And we're back, and General McLane, like we said, made that look way too easy, as we can see now why they've scored so many points this year. The last 2 weeks especially, they've scored 119 points the last 2 weeks, so they are definitely high-powered offense. And here comes the kick. That's going to come down in play. As it's caught at the 1-yard line, he slips, but keeps his knee off the ground. That's Blows. He's up over the 10, and that's all he gets.
Yeah, GM is so fast, and this is where the numbers of players, this is where how fast they are, how well they're trained, and you don't see a single player questioning what they're supposed to do. Everybody knows their role, and they're humble enough to do it. They are really run, and McCormick, their head coach, I don't remember exactly what the degree was, but I know he has a degree in physical education, but even more than that with the training, and he really works these guys during the offseason.
All right, 1st and 10 at about the 10. Walters in the shotgun, Dominic Walters. Blows goes in motion, hands it off to Skylar Sadowski. He breaks one tackle and is tripped up at about the 26-yard line for about a 6-yard gain.
And that's the exact kind of run they need. They just need about 10 of those in a row.
Absolutely. They need to keep the Lancer offense off the field and have a long, sustained drive of their own right here.
That's the only way they're going to have the energy to finish this game.
Absolutely. 4 receivers out in the formation, 3 to the left. Walters takes the snap. He's going to throw it short, and that's a first down as the ball's caught at the 21-yard line, and that was Vamaro
yep,
with the catch. So first down and 10, and that's what the Bison need to do in order to have a shot in this game.
Exactly. The passing game has to be an extension of the running game because they're not going to have the speed to take it over the top unless they really run the ball well and they have some play action.
Definitely. Blows in motion. Walters back to pass. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man, Vamaro, but just out of his reach.
He had a step. As I just said, they might not have the speed to take it over the top. They had a step.
Yep, he looked like he might have taken the wrong angle to try to catch that ball. But
well, that was the same pass just on the other side of the field that he scored that touchdown on a couple games ago.
Absolutely.
So you know they like that play.
That sets them up at 2nd and 10 here, trailing 7-0 here midway through the first quarter. Walters going under center here. He takes the snap. He hands it off up the middle. Sadowski, he's moving his legs and gets about 4 yards, we'll give him. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what they're going to call here at 3rd and 6. I hope they don't run the ball, but I'm not sure what kind of pass you're going to look for. Are you going to go straight to the markers? Is GM going to be defending the 1st down markers and letting you take a chance deep? It's just going to be hard to say.
Yep. Well, the last 3rd down, they hit Vamaro right at the 1st down marker, so we'll see if we go for that again. Blos goes in motion. Fakes the handoff. There's a flag right at the snap. And Sadowski gains a couple yards up to the 30, but we'll see what the flag is.
I sure hope that's not another holding penalty.
And illegal shift on Fort Leboeuf. It'll be 4th down if they decline it. We'll see if they move them back or if they'll take the 4th and 3.
What would you do here?
I would decline it, and that's what it looks like what they're going to do, because it's too deep in their own territory to go for it here. So that's going to set up a punt.
I'm not the coach, and I'm not saying they should do this. But at the fan in me, knowing what they're up against, I might do a fake here.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do.
Yep. Lucas Kant's back in punt formation, and he gets off a good high kick. There's a fair catch called for. And he makes the catch at the 36. He had a long running room.
The Bison got very lucky. I think he caught that and looked down and was like, oh,
yep,
I made a mistake.
There wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him there. So.
And with the speed they have, he could have.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. So, yeah, the Bison dodged a bullet on that one. But they still sets them up in good field position at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 with 5:16 to go here, 1st quarter.
Strutchen just went out on defense for a play or two, I think. Catch a breather. He's a really important player on defense, so hopefully the backup can hold the fort down.
Absolutely, and there's a whistle right at the beginning of the snap. Looks like a false start on GM. So that's going to move them back 5 yards.
Well, GM says, I see your penalty, and I raise you one.
Absolutely. But if they're going to be throwing the ball as much as they have in the past, the Bison need to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, maybe get some sacks. They cannot let him stand back there and have all day to throw.
No, he is a quarterback. You know, I'm sure he's athletic, but when you look at him play, he plays the mental game. He reads the defenses. He's not just dropping back and hoping his talent wins it for him.
Absolutely. There's a handoff up the middle. He's got some running room up to the 40 and thrown down about the 44-yard line. And that's about a gain of about 11. So 1st and 15 goes to 2nd and 3. As they're back at it, short pass up the seam. He goes. He breaks a couple tackles, and he gets the ball up to the 41-yard line.
And right now it seems like even if they get a penalty, that doesn't mean anything to us because they just keep moving the ball down the field. They're getting 10 yards like most teams get 3.
And with this hurry-up, no-huddle offense, the Bison just don't have an answer. Now, they haven't moved the chains. I don't know what the referees are talking about.
Something against the Bison.
Well, I think it was a legal substitution.
Yep, legal motion. No, that's on offense. I'm not sure what that is.
But, yeah, they might have had 12 men on the field, something like that. But either way, that moves the ball up to the 36-yard line.
Well, GM is going to test their cardiovascular system tonight, that's for sure, because they're not going to stop this hurry-up offense.
Absolutely. Caro, another short pass, and he gets knocked down after a short gain.
Good tackle, slipped a little bit on the grass, but I think that's because the defender was right there for the tackle.
Yep, that sets up a 2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4.
2nd and 6.
Lancer's back at it. Caro in the shotgun. Got it back to his left. And he fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it again. It's caught and brought down by Dominic Walters, just short of the first down.
That was a great tackle.
That was. Yeah, he saved a first down and possibly a touchdown on that.
Yeah.
There wasn't much behind him. That sets up a third down and about 2. As Caro's back in the shotgun and movement, and it looks like Brady Black jumped from Fort Leboeuf, and that's going to give them another free first down.
Well, and that's one of the things I'm starting to notice with the Bison. They try to jump the snap for a splash play on defense, but it doesn't seem to be helping them. It seems to be hurting them more than anything.
Yeah.
And I know that GM has practiced the hard counts.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're thinking the only way to win is for us to jump the snap at the perfect timing like a Troy Polamalu, you're rolling the dice.
It's not going to happen.
Not many people are Troy Polamalu.
A lot of shifting here. As Caro, 1st and 10, goes back to pass. He's going to throw it towards the end zone. He's got a man. It's caught at the 5, and no, they brought him down just short of the goal line.
That's a good call. His knee hit right before the ball went over the goal line.
That's going to set him up with a 1st and goal at the 1. And Caro, that was not Caro. That was Corry. No, that was number 11, Caden Haller, that takes the direct snap, and he just walked into the end zone. There was nobody within. Nobody even got a hand on him on that one.
I don't even think the offensive coordinator is calling plays. I know they have signs. They send it into the wristband, and I know that helps them play faster. But these kids know these plays so well that they switched their quarterback, and they didn't even we didn't even notice. It was so fast.
Absolutely. And they're lining up for the extra point here. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. And that makes the score 14-0. General McLane Lancers with 3:09 to go. And we will be back in a minute.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
All right, we are back here for another kickoff from General McLane here.
Well, and at 14-0 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, this could get lopsided really fast.
Absolutely. And the Bison need to put together a sustained drive here to keep the Lancers offense off the field. And there's the kick. It's going to come down at about the 1 yard line. He takes it up the middle, breaks a tackle of the 15 to the 20, and that's Xavier Blos, and he gets over the 22 yard line.
And I think that was a good call, taking the ball at the 1 like that right at the goal line, because you got to have an opportunity to make plays, because that's going to be limited in tonight's game.
Absolutely. Yeah, they need to take any opportunity they can get to get their playmakers the ball.
Yeah, if they have trick plays, they might want to pull those out right about now. Something that they don't expect.
Yep, we got a 5-receiver set here. Walters in the shotgun in an empty backfield. Blos goes in motion, fakes the handoff to him. Walters rolls out to his left. He's going to run it. He's got a little bit of room, and he's knocked down about the 36 for about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, that team speed on GM, they just got there really, really fast.
Yep.
And they were several feet away when they all decided to converge, and he just had nowhere to go.
Absolutely. Second down and 6, we call it. It's the 26-yard line. Walters under center. He takes the snap. He hands off up the middle to Sadowski. Gets up to about the 30 for a gain of about 4 more. So that's going to set up a third down and 2. As the
And it's
the Bison need to pick this first down up here.
Well, third down is going to determine this whole night.
And in this situation, if they don't make it, I would go for it here if they don't lose any yards. Here's a handoff. No, he fakes the handoff. Walters keeps it, and he gains maybe about a half a yard. And I would be very tempted to go for it on 4th and 1 here.
Yeah, I think that might be smart. But they tried to do a read triple option. Did you see that? A fake handoff up the middle. He was going to pitch it, and they're just too fast. He became indecisive.
Absolutely. Yeah, they are going to go for it. They cannot give GM the ball back this quickly after what GM's done the first couple series. And we are down to 1:15 left to go here. 4th and 1 at their own 31-yard line. Huge play here early in the game as Walters hands it off to Sadowski.
He's close.
He's going to be close.
I would ask for a measurement.
I think he got it, but
by the crowd at GM, I don't know.
They're moving this sticks.
All right.
So, yep, he did get just enough for the first down.
Yeah, GM started clapping. I was like, maybe not.
Exactly. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, but
well, and this is what they have to do. It's kind of like in the NCAA tournaments where the smaller team would hold on to the ball when there wasn't a shot clock.
Yep.
And the scores would be like 20-30. That's what they have to do today to win.
Yep. Walters takes a snap. He's going to throw one deep. He's got a man down the sidelines, and Vamaro cannot pull it in. As that ball he may not have gotten his feet down anyway, but there was good coverage there on the sidelines as well.
Yeah, he was right up in his grill that entire time, but he did not have pass interference.
No, and Vamaro had a shot to make the play, but he just couldn't pull it in. As that sets up a 2nd down and 10 at their own 32-yard line. 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 GM. This may be the last play of the first quarter. Walters under center. Blows in motion. He's going to hand it. I don't know. Did Walters keep that?
Yeah, he's so good. You know, if you haven't seen a game and you're just watching on the camera, I don't know if you can tell, but he leaves that in the belly of the running back for so long. I know I've talked about it. It's so impressive that we don't even know which way we're going.
Yep.
Let alone the defense.
Absolutely. And that was a gain of 5 for Walters around the right side, and that will bring the first quarter to an end as the General McLane Lancers have a 14-0 lead over the Fort Leboeuf Bison. And we will be back for second quarter action in a moment.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City, and Waterford, online at napaonline.com.
Hey there, I'm the new guy in town. I'm your pal, Big Al Knight, and I'm here weeknights, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Yawn to dawn, that's right, all through the wee hours of the morning, playing the songs you love to remember, because this is where all the good songs have gone to play. So tune in right here on
Canada Lake's greatest hits, Sunny 105.7.
Okay, we are back. And right now the Bison have 3 penalties and GM has 2. If the Bisons, in my opinion, are going to win this, they have to stop the penalties right this very second. Yep. If they are moving the ball exactly the way they want to right now.
3rd down and 5. Another big play here as Walters is under center. He hands the ball off to Leboeuf, and he gets nowhere. Maybe lost a yard there. And that's going to set up a 4th down and 6.
So is this the kind of down you go for? We did it before, but it was a little shorter.
Yep, they still have the offense out on the field here.
Yeah, I think they realize this game is going to be won on every single down. Like, they have to play courageously.
Absolutely. And GM's going to score regardless, so they got to take a chance and and make something happen on this drive. So 4th down and 6. Walters in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Quick throw. Vamaro makes the catch on at the 44-yard line, and that's enough for a first down.
So that's the kind of throws that Walters we're used to seeing. He snapped that ball hard.
Absolutely, and he threw that before Vamaro even turned around.
And the defender was right there, but he didn't have time to react to it.
Yep. So that's a gain of 7 up to the game. They give him to the 45-yard line. So 2 big 4th down conversions already on this drive for the Bison. As Walters hands it off to Blows around the left end. He gains about 1.5 yards, maybe 2, up to the 47.
Now, one thing I'm noticing when they're handing the ball off to some other guys and not just straight up the middle is when they run sideways, east and west, they don't have enough speed. Mm-hmm. It's giving GM a chance to gang tackle and to get an angle on them. I really feel like they need to run between the tackles and own that area before they try to run outside.
Absolutely. And Sadowski's a strong enough runner that he can go up the middle and gain some yards here. And Walters takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He goes around left end, down the sidelines across the 50 to about the 49-yard line. So that's a gain of about 6. That's going to set up a 3rd, and they're going to set it at the 50.
Yeah, and Walters is really might be the only guy on the team that can run with GM, has the same speed as they do. So I like that the coach is trying to mix it up and give the ball to different people and keep the defense guessing because they need that pause in order to get a little bit of an advantage.
Walters in the pistol formation, Sadowski behind him. He's going to pitch it out to Sadowski, and he's got a first down and more. And that was a new play for the Bison.
It sure was.
As he gains about 9 yards and sets him up at the 41-yard line of GM.
Yeah, we're going to see how many plays they have in the playbook tonight because they're going to have to bring everything they have.
Absolutely.
Because it's only by tricking them are they going to be able to match their speed on defense.
Walters takes the shotgun snap. He throws it out to Blows, breaks a tackle, fighting for yardage, and he gets up to about the 36-yard line. That's a gain of about 7 as the Bison aren't getting big chunks, but they're
moving a little faster. Do you notice how they're huddling up a little quicker?
Yep.
And they're doing exactly what we talked about at the beginning of the game. They're trying to make their passing game an extension of the running game.
Absolutely.
And these short, quick catches are exactly what they need to do to complement their running.
Absolutely. That's what they need to do, and that's keeping the clock running, and that's keeping the Lancer offense off the field. As they have a 2nd down and short, he hands the ball off to Sadowski, who fights forward for about 2. That's going to set up another 3rd down and short situation. So right now, this is the perfect way to run this offense for the Bison.
Yeah, this is the way the coach draws it up in practice.
You know, if you take 3 or 4 plays to get a first down every time and you just keep moving the sticks, you know, that's going to go a long ways. It's 3rd down and 1. Walters takes the snap, hands it off. Sadowski, spin move.
Well, and right now they're just keying up Sadowski. They're going to say anybody can beat us but him. And that's going to be hard. So you're going to have to give the ball to other guys, which coach is trying to do for the Bison. But Sadowski, he might have some key plays in this, but he's not going to be the lone wolf. We need a complete team effort for the Bisons to win this.
Absolutely. As we've seen all year, Sadowski gets it going more in the second half, too. So
4th and 2.
4th and 2 here. Walters hands off up the middle. It's going to be close.
It's going to be really close.
Another.
I feel like we got to measure this.
Yep.
I hope they measure it.
And
they might have it.
Let's see what they're going to give them a first down.
Yep, they have it. My goodness.
That's another.
How many 4th downs is that?
That's the 4th down conversion on this drive alone.
And they're running to the line.
As they're up to 1st down and 10 at the 33. Walters under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to Sadowski up the middle, and he is just pulling players up the middle, and he gains about 5.
Yeah, this is perfection for how they have drawing it up. This is exactly what they need. With a 14-0 score, they're not panicking, but I love that they're moving fast.
And we're already under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. They've held the ball for the entire quarter as Walters takes a snap. He keeps it, and he gets smacked for maybe about a yard. He got blown up there near the sidelines.
Yeah, that was a good tackle, but he bounced right back up. Probably got a little bit of wind knocked out of him, but he's ready to go.
Yep, that sets up a 3rd down and 5 at the 28. And this is a...
You really have to think they want a touchdown. They don't want a field goal.
Absolutely.
They want a touchdown.
Absolutely.
If they could eat this clock up all the way to halftime, that would be amazing.
This is already about a 8-minute drive as they held the ball for the last couple minutes of the first quarter. And we're already at 6 minutes in the second quarter. As there's a handoff to Sadowski, he gains about 3.
That was a beautifully scripted play.
Yep.
They faked the one guy, pitched it forward to the other. That was awesome.
And once again, we're 4th down and short, 4th down and 2, which I think all 3 of their 4th downs have been 4th and 2, and they have converted each one of them.
Well, do they run it up the middle or do they do something different?
It'll be interesting to see here, but they are going to go for it. Under 6 minutes to go, 14-0 GM. As Walters lines up in the backfield, Sadowski to his right. And there's going to be a timeout for somebody.
I would assume that's Fort Leboeuf.
Yep, and Fort Leboeuf wants to talk it over on this critical 4th down play.
Yeah, they're using a lot of misdirection, and that's giving them some time. And I like that they're doing the hurry-up offense because that's also giving them, making GM essentially reactive because they're not coming with different types of blitz schemes and things. And that is exactly what they need to do to kind of stop that team speed. Is it going to last the rest of the game? I sure hope so.
Absolutely. And this drive started way back at the 22-yard line of Fort Leboeuf. They are now at the General McLane 25-yard line. And they've already converted 3 4th downs on this possession. They're lining up to go for it again on 4th down.
Now, I've been so enthralled in this. Has Fort Leboeuf had this ball the entire second quarter so far?
Yes, they have.
Like, not a single play for GM.
Yep. This play started. Wow. They held it for a couple minutes at the end of the first quarter, and then now. So this is about a 9-minute drive.
This is an impressive drive.
It is. And they're just
total team
grinding out yardage. They're not getting big chunks, but they're getting enough to keep moving the sticks. As Walters lines up in shotgun again. He's going to run it himself. He's got the 1st down again. And that's going to get up to about the 22-yard line as Walters gains about 3 yards. And this is their most impressive drive of the season so far.
Well, and it's their most disciplined drive.
Absolutely.
Everybody's doing their job, and they're not trying to outplay their ability.
Absolutely. And even though they have a kicker that can make it from here, against GM, you can't settle for field goals. So I think it's going to be 4-down territory the whole game.
They might be going for touchdowns the whole game, not a single field goal.
Walters throws it out to Blows. He breaks a tackle, and he gets up over the 20 to the 16-yard line. So that's a gain of 7.
That defender, I thought he was going to knock him completely out, and Blows did the nicest sidestep. It was like he was a bullfighter, and he had the little ole.
Absolutely. Yep, he made him miss big time. As we are approaching 4.5 minutes to go in the first half, in the second quarter. And there's another whistle.
A respot of the ball, maybe half a yard.
Yep, and they're resetting
in GM's favor, I might add. Maybe a little home field advantage.
Yep. 2nd down and 5.
And right now, the Bison are relying on their power and quickness to try to counter GM speed.
Walters takes the snap, back to pass. He rolls out to the right. He's got a man up over the 15 to the 20 to the 5, the 10 to the 5, and knocked out of bounds is Skylar Sadowski at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and you could tell he was frustrated. He just didn't have the angle to push the direction he wanted. Sorry if that wasn't on the camera, guys. But he made the right choice. But I think we got 4 downs from the 1-yard line.
Yep.
I think we can do this.
So that sets up a 1st down and goal here with 4:14 to go. Walters in the shotgun. Man in motion. Hands the ball off up the middle. Touchdown, Skylar Sadowski.
And they, on this drive, this was the most professional, selfless, team-oriented, complete drive of the season.
Absolutely.
They have not been able to do something like this. I want to know how many plays that was. We weren't counting, but my goodness. That's what you dream of.
Absolutely. And that was at least a 10-minute drive to end in a touchdown. Is huge. And here's Kansas extra point, and it is up and good as the Bison cut the GM lead in half, make it 14-7 with 4:10 to go here in the second quarter. And we will be right back.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Now, I know just about anything can happen in this game, and we've seen just about anything happen all season. But that was the most impressive drive I think I've seen in years, let alone in high school football. How many fourth downs were there?
Absolutely. They had fourth down.
So that was 16 plays right there.
Yep. So that was probably at least a 20-play drive, and they took at least 10 minutes off the clock on that drive alone. So that's going to be the key to winning this game, is keeping GM's offense off the field. And this ball is going to come down short of the goal line as it's taken at the 3. And
what a hit.
He is dropped.
They were going for a turnover on that hit.
Yep. He is dropped at the 18-yard line. I think it was either Sadowski or Vamaro. I saw them both at the point of contact.
I'm not sure. I think it was Vamaro, to be honest with you.
Yep. But
I am just so impressed with the team. Now, what they're going to need to do is now they got to complement what they just did. And I'm not saying they got to go 3 and out, but they got to keep GM from scoring on this drive. Whether they get the ball back and score before halftime is kind of irrelevant. They need to have a complete win with a drive to build that momentum and confidence.
Absolutely. And here's a handoff around the left side, and he is dragged down at the 25-yard line. That was Nick Swenson with the carry for about 5 yards.
When you got to be impressed, even though these running backs share the load for GM, they read their blocks, and they're so patient. They're so patient. They must be watching Le'Veon Bell tape.
Yep. Caro takes the snap. He hands it off again. He's got a first down and a little bit more, up over the 35 to the 37. And that is Charlie Bennett.
Yeah, and that was a change of speed. He just took off like a rocket.
Yep, as they're distributing the ball around to many different backs in this game. 3.5 minutes to go. Here's a short pass caught, and not much as Vamaro comes up and makes the tackle at the 40-yard line for about a 3-yard gain. That was Kyle McConnell with the reception there. GM Lancers up 14-7, going on a hurry up. Here's a fake pass, and he's got a man wide open, but he overthrows him. And that was Jared Corwin, the intended receiver.
Well, and he's probably, out of all the great athletes, and they have a lot of great athletes, he's one of the best ones on offense. So that typically has turned out to be a touchdown for them in games past.
Yep, that had 6 written all over it. But
he's fast, and he's a very tall guy.
Yep, 3rd down and 6 here at the 41-yard line. Big play for Fort Leboeuf's defense if they can force a punt here. And Caro takes a snap, back to pass. He can't find anybody. He's going to run it himself. And he is tripped up by number 62, which is Carson Stoltz for Fort Leboeuf.
They're going back to hurry up. They're going to go for it.
4th down.
4th and 6.
What a play by Stoltz.
What a play.
I would use, and Fort
No,
LaBeouf
I heard
jump.
whistles. I heard whistles. I don't know if that was a jump. I don't see anything on the field.
And they called the timeout before the jump. I was just going to say, Fort LaBeouf should call a timeout because they were not ready for that play.
No, they weren't. We're going to take a quick word from our sponsor.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs, and much more. Located at 319 High Street in Waterford and 104 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at FamilyInkInnovations.com. Phone 814-462-6628. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks Family Ink Innovations for their support.
Okay, that Stoltz had probably, if they can end this drive, that might have been the tackle of the season so far. He gave everything he had. He dove like Superman, and his strong arms were able to trip up the legs of the quarterback. That was just beautiful.
And 4th and 4 here at the 44. They are going to go for it. As Caro's back in an empty backfield. 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Jump, but no, he didn't. He didn't go across the line.
Oh, he was in the neutral zone. He got back.
And the play clock's down to 10. Caro takes the snap. He's looking, getting some pressure. He's going to try to run it. He's not going to get there.
Ooh, it's going to be close.
Yes, he
well, no. They might have to measure this.
Let's see where they mark it.
We are slightly left to the 50-yard line, so our angle with the camera is... Oh, they
are going to give him the first down. He got just enough for the first down.
I mean, that was close.
He needed 4. He got about 4.5. As that puts him at 1st and 10 at the 47. There's a handoff up the middle, and he's swarmed at the line of scrimmage, and a lot of penalty flags on this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure where. That was from the front of the line and the backfield, Judge. I'm not sure what was going on there. If that's holding, if that's a face mask, I'm not sure what it is.
Let's see what they call.
It was something.
Personal foul, face mask on Fort LaBeouf, as that will move the ball up 15 yards.
That, especially when you had gang tackling happening right at the line of scrimmage, that's so unnecessary. Yeah. I would have to think that's just an accident.
Yep.
But you have to be. These small things are going to make a difference. So how many penalties is that? 4?
Stopped 4 for 30 yards.
Yeah, I think if they do more than 5, they're not going to have a chance to win this.
And that sets them up 1st down and 10. The 37-yard line, 2:30 to go, first half. He fakes the handoff. He's going to go deep into the end zone. A lot of hand fighting, and he makes the catch at the 1-yard line and falls into the end zone. What a catch by General McLane. I didn't see the number of the receiver, but he makes the catch to go up 20-7.
And that's what happens when they open up their offense. And you know, that penalty absolutely was the reason that they were able to score there as quickly as they did. However, I just feel like they're just too high-powered.
Absolutely. And after the long drive for the Bison, Fort McLane takes less than 2 minutes to go back down and score, and that makes the score 21-7. And we will take a break.
Fort LaBeouf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle. Phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street. Phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford. Phone 814-796-2017.
You know, this is having Farrell vibes, but we weren't able to score a touchdown and have a drive like that. And 21-7, anything can happen. There's still plenty of game left. if they could have pulled back a few of those penalties, I feel like it would still be 14-7.
Yep, and you know, they say baseball is a game of inches. Well, that last drive was a game of inches on that fourth down play. If they are able to stop him on that fourth down run, the Bison get the ball in General McLane territory, still down only by 7. So that was a huge play for them to get the first down, as that ball is kicked into the end zone, and the Bison will start off at their own 20-yard line.
Well, and what do you do if you're the Bison? Do you play an extra defender back to stop the pass, or do you stay up front to stop the running game?
Well, they're switching it up so good. They've been successful with the short pass as well as the long pass. So, you know, you can't really favor one or the other. So.
You really can't. You almost have to guess what they're going to do in order to stop them, or at least try to guess what part of the field are they going to try to hit, and we have an extra player there. That's a hard way to play football.
Absolutely. So the Bison now have 2 minutes and 23 seconds to go here in the first quarter to try to do something, as there's a short pass out to Blows. He makes a man miss, and he gains about 5 yards.
And I really like that other people are getting the ball besides Sadowski, because they're just teeing up on Sadowski. And that can really open up a lot of other guys. But we're going to need to move the ball faster with only 2 minutes left in the second quarter at 21-7.
Absolutely.
Now, do you try to go deep? I wouldn't. I'd hope that you get a short pass or a run that breaks it.
Yeah. The Bison going no huddle right now, as Walters takes a snap and he fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it up over the 30-yard line, gets out of bounds for a first down. And that was a good run there by Dominic Walters for about a gain of 6.
Yeah, if I was GM, I'd be guarding the sidelines, because really the only way they're gonna get you is if they can keep running out and stopping the clock after every play. If you make them run up the middle, I don't think the Bisons have what it takes to score in 1 minute and 42 seconds.
Absolutely, but
I could be wrong.
Just remember, too, Fort Leboeuf gets the second half kickoff, too. So if they can get down and even get a field goal out of this drive, get some momentum going into the second half, and then they get the ball at the beginning of the second half. So Walters pitches it out to Sadowski. He's got some running room. He breaks a couple tackles. He's got a first down up over the 40 to the 43-yard line, as that's a gain of 13 for Skylar Sadowski, and that's the first time that he's really been able to break past the line of scrimmage.
Well, and we only have one timeout. So with 1:25 on a running clock, they're probably going to save that if they need a field goal.
Yep, and they are getting closer to field goal range, as they're at their own 43-yard line. And there's another pitch to Sadowski, and he gets through the line, and he's tripped up at the 45-yard line for another big gain for about 12 for first down.
Yeah, if people at home are watching this, you're going to see that GM has 3 DBs taking steps back as soon as it's hiked. So they're going to give this cushion, because they don't want to give up 7. They'll give up 3. But if we don't get out of bounds, we might not even get that.
But they do stop the clock in high school after a first down temporarily, so clock is back moving under 50 seconds. Walters takes the snap, back to pass. He's going to throw it short to Sadowski, and honestly, that was better that he did drop that ball, because he would have been tackled inbounds, and they would have either had to use their last timeout, or a lot of time would have come off the clock.
Yep, so you took the words right out of my mouth. I almost would have done a spike.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wouldn't have gained any yards. He was right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
so.
They have to be thinking about spiking the ball to stop the clock. It's not about all 4 downs right now.
Yeah. So we got second down and 10 here at the GM 46-yard line. Realistically, only about 15 yards from field goal range. And Walters takes the snap. He runs up in the pocket. He makes the connection to Vamaro, but did I see a flag?
I hope not.
Yeah. Personal foul on Fort Leboeuf.
Oh, that was a great run and pass looking for the open receiver. Yep. He had Sadowski a few yards down closer to the sideline, but, you know, he had to make the throw that he saw. But that's not good. What was the foul exactly?
It was some sort of personal foul. I don't know if it was a hit to the head. I don't know what that. what that motion
Well,
is.
that's going to stop this drive immediately.
That moves them back to the 39, puts it at
now, here's the thing.
first down.
GM has all 3 timeouts, and with 33 seconds, they could score.
Yeah.
Do they call a timeout if they don't get a first down? Do they try to score?
Yeah, we'll see. A lot will depend on what they do, what Fort Leboeuf does on this play. If they pick up a chunk of yards, though.
I'm thinking if I'm GM, I'm trying to score as many times as I can.
Yep. Walters back to pass. He's looking downfield, rolling out, and he just runs out of bounds for a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, it's 25 yards. That's probably a 26-27 now, right?
Yep. Second down and about
third and 25.
They have third down, but the penalty happened on first down, I thought. But
they might have had a loss of downs.
Yeah.
It might have been a loss of downs on that penalty.
But either way, it's they got a long ways to go and only 27 seconds to do it in.
Yeah, for those at home, personal foul, usually you don't get that down back if you commit that on offense because they want that penalty to hit hard.
Yep. Walters rolling out. He's going to throw it away. He was under some heavy pressure. There was no receiver in the area. He could have been called for intentional grounding, but that was not the call. And that's going to set up a fourth down, and they will probably punt this one away.
You know, the Bison are at 5 penalties right now, so that was kind of the threshold.
Yeah.
And I think we can really see they can score if they play their game, but they got to play a clean game. And that's the hard part about a power running game is you have to do the play perfectly more often without any mistakes. When you have a high-octane passing game, you can make those mistakes and make up for it on the very next pass.
Yeah, here's the punt. It's a good kick, and he calls for a fair catch at the 22-yard line. And with just 16 seconds remaining here in the first half, General McLane takes over, leading 21-7.
And when halftime sets in, ladies and gentlemen at home, we will let you listen to the bands play, and then we will bring you our Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show.
And let's see if they actually run a play here.
They're in shotgun.
Yep, there. They might take a shot deep just to see what happens.
I would. It's not running up the score at this point. It's called trying to win.
Oh, absolutely. And Caro takes the snap. Now a little shovel pass up the middle to Corwin, and he's got a first down and more up to the 40-yard line. So that is going to stop the clock, and they're going to use their first time out of the half. So they are going to try to get something out of this.
They might get 2 more plays out of this.
Yeah, they have enough time to hit a shot deep maybe and maybe get a field goal out of this.
Well, you know,
or if they can get somebody behind the defender, they might be able to score from this area.
Well, you know, the Bison are going to be playing their DBs back deep, probably 3 guys playing deep zone, try to pick it off. So the question is, do you try to run the ball? Do you try a screen pass? It really just depends. Do you go short and try to block your way down to a score?
Yeah.
Or do you try to take the top off?
Well, that last play gained almost 20 yards, so they might try the same type of play just to get a little bit closer until they.
Well, and if you see how GM's running, they're such a professional team at a high school level with what they're doing. It wouldn't surprise me if when the quarterback gets to the line, he makes that decision right then and there.
Absolutely. Got twin receivers to the left. Caro back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's looking deep downfield. And this is going to be the last play. He's taking way too much time, and that ball is caught. But as long as they can stop him before the end zone, and they do, they drag him down at the 20-yard line, and that will be the last play of the first half, as he almost broke the tackle there to get into the end zone on the last play of the half.
And that's a great way to pad the stats for your team, right?
They're not going to put time back on the clock, are they?
I don't see anybody leaving.
They're still milling around. Okay, now the officials called it. But
I think GM was trying to argue for an extra second.
Right, that got me worried there. But if he would have gone down as soon as he caught the ball, he might have been able to save that second. But the quarterback ran around for about 5 seconds. So by the time he caught the ball, he ran for another 15 yards after he caught it. So
I had an angle at the scoreboard, and he had about 2 seconds on the clock when I took my eyes from the scoreboard, and then I saw him throw it. So there might have only been 1 on the clock at that time.
Right. So, yeah, once he caught the ball and ran a few yards, there was no way that there was going to still be time left on the clock.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing our Fort Leboeuf marching band come out onto the field. So we're going to let you listen to them and probably the GM band as well, and then we will see you on the other side for the Corry Federal Credit Union halftime report.
And once again, the score at halftime is 21-7 Fort McLane, and the Bison will receive the second half kickoff.
All right.
I'm not worried. Am I playing Jamie Homer late this year? So I put it away next year. Your schedule, as many times as I try to randomize it, it would only give me 3 games. Then I can reschedule everything else on your schedule. And I had to consistently randomize it to get every one of them playing. Honestly, the way he sounded though when he was playing was exactly how it sounded when he simmed our game. Because I didn't realize when he jump off sides, better long-term
Thank you to the Fort Leboeuf Marching Band. And now, welcome to the field, the pride and spirit of General McLane, the Lancer Marching Band. This year, presenting the program, Come Together, featuring moments from classic hits by the Beatles, Because, Eleanor Rigby, Blackbird, Yesterday, Come Together, and Hey Jude. After the band performance, we will welcome to the field GM Band and his band alumni to join in the performance of Celebration by Cool and Again. Your Lancer Band will next be in competition on Saturday, October 4th at the Corry Band Competition. We hope you enjoy Come Together.
didn't get her car inspected. I went over there, dropped it off, and we were able to pick her up. Both mirrors were smashed. She had a rash.
But it was nothing like I thought. I wanted to know how
Over the top. They had corrugated plastic or something. And the corrugated plastic.
I went to know what. I went to know what.
And I wailed on my phone. And he just was smoking a cigarette, like waiting for it. I've been having so much
And we are back for the Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show. So, Doug, what stood out to you in the first half?
Just Fort LeBeuf's inability to stop General McLane's no-huddle offense. I mean, they haven't faced a team like this all season, and they just have to come up with some way to stop the Lancers, because they've just gone right through Fort LeBeuf's defense in this game.
3 drives, 3 scores, right?
Yeah, until that last drive where they just ran out of time. But and they would have scored there if they had another minute. So, yeah, and Fort LeBeuf had that great drive that resulted in their touchdown. But they're going to have to get some turnovers in the second half if they're going to have any chance to win this ball game.
Well, and I see it a lot of different ways. First of all, this game reminds me a little bit about a game back when Dennis Green, the old Vikings coach, when he was coaching with the Cardinals towards the end of his career, and they were going against the Chicago Bears, the same team that played Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl that year with the Colts.
Yep.
And they lost a very close game, and Dennis Green was not happy. And he said, they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. He said a few extra words I won't repeat, but those were some of the words that he used. And GM is who we think they are.
Yep, absolutely.
GM is this good. And I'm really happy to see that Fort LeBeuf put a drive together that I don't think – that might be a record in number of plays in a drive. But you saw as that played out how perfect they had to be on every single play in order to get that score. And that says a lot about the coaching. That says a lot about the players and the grit and the discipline. However, we're already at 5 penalties halfway through the game. So that old bad habit is coming back in. And these were penalties they could have avoided. Maybe the face mask, that 15-yarder, was an accident with arms getting jammed up together, maybe. But the other ones were very much under their control.
Yep, and 2 of them led directly to first downs, and I think they were both on 3rd down and short. So, those were plays that, without those penalties, if they stop them on 3rd down, they could have forced a punt and things could have ended differently there.
Absolutely. And then think about the time that GM has to throw the ball. They're getting 0 pressure. But the problem is they're so fast on offense that if the Bisons blitz and try some exotic thing, they're going to leave a gap somewhere out on the field. And if they don't get that pressure, then they're going to get burned. But they're basically in a prevent defense with the pressure they're giving, and they're getting burned that way as well. So I am not really sure. I think they're going to need some turnovers, maybe some bad plays where GM makes mistakes and they can capitalize. They've had some good defensive plays knocking the ball down at the beginning of the game, but they're going to need to turn those into turnovers to have a chance. And they just weren't able to stop them. If they don't score if Fort LeBeuf doesn't score every single time with the ball, and doesn't get turnovers on the other side, I don't see how this game is going to look any different. We might be looking at a 42-14 game by the end of the night.
Absolutely. And, GM comes into this game averaging 42 points per game, so they're right on their average right now. And they are
they're going to be a team, a formidable opponent in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And now,
luckily, they're a class above Fort Leboeuf, so the Bison don't have to worry about playing them in the playoffs. But they are going to do some damage in the 4A playoffs. In fact, they were district champions last year in 4A in District 10. So they are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Well, and with Marshall McCormick as the coach, and what I've seen him do in the last 3-4 years, and I might have that off a little bit. There might be an extra year in there somewhere.
This is his fourth.
This is the fourth year. Okay, that's what I thought.
He's 27-11 so far. In his career.
He's got the players buying in with the working out in the off season. You can see they do not tire. They know what they're doing, and they're playing with confidence. Number 2, they have more players wanting to come out because he's such a great coach. He has the playbook to take advantage of their abilities. And this kind of coach either creates a dynasty for a lifetime at a high school and becomes, will become just a famous human being in Western PA with his greatness, or there's going to be some college teams that see that he knows how to run a program.
Absolutely.
And they might be saying, hey, we want you as our coach.
Yep.
He's just that type of coach.
Yep. And he's young enough where if he wanted to stick around here, he could have a 40-year coaching career here. And that kickoff is going to bounce at the 1 and go into the end zone. So we are underway here in the second half as the Fort Leboeuf Bison will take over at their own 20-yard line. And Skylar Sadowski had 65 yards rushing in that first half. And we've seen all year where he really turns it on in the second half. In the last couple weeks, the Bison have played their best ball in the second half. So we will see if they can come out in this second half and do what they've done the last couple weeks. As Walters begins in the shotgun, Sadowski to his left. Trips receivers to the right as Blos goes in motion. Fakes the handoff to Sadowski, but can't find anybody. Now he throws it to Sadowski, and it's almost intercepted. In fact, it should have been intercepted. It hit the defender right in the hands.
I think we don't have a good angle, but I think Sadowski was able to get his hands in between the defender's hands and make that a little rough. But those types of mistakes are what we're going to have to avoid. They got him to pump fake. They jumped up. He wasn't ready. He rolled out to the right, forced the pass, and that really is what they were able to avoid in the first half, is any of those types of plays. If they don't stay on script, I think this defense is just too good.
Yep, and there was a penalty on Fort Leboeuf on that play, but it was declined, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, so it'll be second down and 20, or second down and 10 at the 20 for the Bison. They need another long, sustained drive here to open the second half that results in points. As Walters throws it out to the left, the catch is made, but he goes nowhere, and he is dropped for about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that ball might have been tipped just enough that it slowed it down where he didn't really have a chance to run after it. I'm not sure if it was tipped or not, but it looked like the trajectory changed right as it went over that defensive lineman's head.
Yep. Sets up a third down and 8.
It looks like GM's bringing a little bit more pressure than what they did in the first half.
Walters on 3rd and 8 here, and there's movement as General McLane comes across the line of scrimmage. Where they drawn off?
It's hard to say. I saw the offensive lineman move, but I don't know if it's because number 11 jumped and went into the neutral zone.
The referees are talking about it, and it looks like it's going to go against Fort Leboeuf, and it will.
See, and I think the pressure that they had on those last 2 plays are now making the linemen a little jumpy. I think they were holding back in the first half a little bit with their blitz scheme, just trying to feel out Fort Leboeuf. And now I feel like they have an understanding of what they're trying to do, and they know where to blitz.
Absolutely. It sets up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 at their own 17-yard line. Gonna have to come up with something big here to keep the drive alive as Walters back to pass. He throws it across the middle, and that ball is incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down, and that is definitely not what Fort Leboeuf needed to start the second half.
No, as great as that one drive was, that wasn't as good as they could have hoped for.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was shot putting that pass again. It looks like he's trying to be perfect.
And trying to guide it in instead of just throwing it.
And you have to roll the dice. You have to trust your instincts as a quarterback against such a good team, and you just got to hope for the best.
Cans back to punt. It's a pretty good punt, and it's going to hit and bounce as it goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line of General McLane. So that's where the Lancers will take over for their first possession of the second half. And they cannot allow
that was a 51-yard punt.
Yeah.
That's an impressive punt.
That was nice. He got some hang time on that too, but that's what they needed to flip the field a little bit, and they need to stop them and not allow them to score on this drive here. As Caro takes the snap, throws it out into the flat, and he is dropped for a loss of a yard. That was number 22, Cohen Beachley, that made the reception there.
Yeah, see, on those types of short passes, if they're going to expect to come back, they got to force turnovers in that situation. That was a hard tackle, but they can rotate running backs all day.
Absolutely.
So they're going to have to try to strip the ball, which might give up a big play, but I just feel like that's what they have to do if they have a chance of getting back in this.
Definitely. And there's another short pass to Corwin, and he gains only about 2 yards, so that's going to set up a 3rd down and 9. They haven't had too many 3rd and longs for General McLane in this game. So.
Well, the ones they've had, though, they've made it look pretty easy. So hopefully,
and they use that short passing game to set up the long passes too. So
yeah, this might not just be a 10-yard pass. They might be trying to go deep here.
Yep.
Or quite honestly, they might just try to run it up the middle on a draw. I mean, they're so talented they could do just about anything right now.
Yep.
And our two safeties are playing back.
Caro in the shotgun takes the snap. He's looking deep. He throws it, and it is caught with a flag down, and he's down to the 27-yard line is Kyle McConnell, and it's going to be pass interference one way or the other.
Let's hope it's the offense, but I didn't see...
There was some hand fighting from both ways.
Yeah, I didn't see anything so egregious that I would have thrown a flag, to be honest with you.
But they are moving it back, so it looks like it is going to be offensive pass interference as he pushed off to make that play.
That's what we need. We need a few lucky things happening, and I shouldn't even call that luck. That happens because you're playing good defense.
Right. But like you said, that could have gone either way. And I don't know if I'd have called it on either one of them because they were both going for the ball, both like hand fighting. But that moves the ball all the way back to the 18-yard line.
So this
brings up a 3rd, and
it's going to be very hard for them to pick the ball off here if they throw it. But they have to consider playing a cushion and jumping a route right now.
Absolutely. 3rd and 24 now.
If they could score on defense, that would be a big deal for them.
But even if they stop him here, they're going to get good field position after the punt. And Caro, he's going to throw it out deep, and it is knocked away, incomplete, right at midfield. And that would have been a 1st down. And
he rolled around a little bit. I think he fell awkward. Might have landed on the hip a little sideways.
Yep. And for the first time in the game, Fort Leboeuf forces a punt
at 21-7 with 9 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
And this is huge right here. They should get the ball in General McLane territory. Are they going for this? Oh no. Okay.
I was wondering.
They didn't have anybody back, but now he goes back and punts it away. It's a pretty good punt as the
That was a
ball
great
goes
punt.
out of bounds. And they are going to mark it at the 41-yard line of Fort Leboeuf. So it's still good field position for the Bison.
That couldn't have turned out any better for Fort Leboeuf. GM is so capable of striking from anywhere on the field. If we had 3 seconds left and they were on their own 1-yard line, I would not feel safe.
Absolutely.
But they needed this. Now they got to take advantage of it.
Definitely. And there.
Now, hopefully they keep the misdirection going. Hopefully they keep the hurry-up offense going, because that's given them fractions of a second where the GM defense has to respond, and because they're not as fast, they need that.
Right. And okay, they actually marked it at the 45. So the Bison start off near midfield at the 45-yard line as Walters takes a snap. He's going to pitch it out to Sadowski. He makes a man miss in the backfield up to the 50. He's got some running room. He's got a shot. One man to beat. The 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Wow. What a play. What an amazing play. That almost matched his 61-yarder. I don't know if it did or didn't, but that might have been a 55-yarder.
That was a 55-yard run for Sadowski.
That defender at the line of scrimmage had him lined up, and he just did a whoop side move with a little stiff arm, and off he went.
And once he got into the secondary, he just turned on the burners, and he just outran everybody.
He outran the secondary. He's known for power. He's not known for speed.
Yep, and here's the extra point. It's blocked.
Oh.
As there was a bad snap.
Yep, and that might come back to hurt us, but
that will keep the score at 21-13. But wow, Skylar Sadowski gets the
football coverage
team back into the ball game, and we will take a break.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
All right, we are back, and the Fort Leboeuf Bison on that electric touchdown run by Skylar Sadowski cuts the lead to 21-13.
That's only 8 points away.
Yep.
Touchdown and a two-pointer.
Yep, 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And they have all the momentum going. Let's see if they can continue that on the defensive end and get another stop.
Well, and big players make big plays in big-time moments, and that's what that was.
Absolutely. And Sadowski almost doubled his first half rushing output on that one play alone. He had 65 yards in the first half. He had 55 yards on that play alone.
Well, as long as GM leaves Fort Leboeuf in this, because GM was, I read the papers, I read the articles, I read, the different posts. GM was supposed to walk away with this one. And the longer a better, talented, in quotes, team lets you hang in, the more confidence you have, and the less confidence they have. Now, I don't know if it's going to keep going this way, but they're making a game of it against a very powerful team. They should feel great about themselves.
Absolutely. As there's a handoff, makes a spin move, makes one man miss, and he is tackled for a 4-yard gain. That's Cohen Beachley. And they're back to their no-huddle, hurry-up offense. Second down and 6. There's a pitch out to Beachley. He looks for some running room. He gets a first down up over the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and GM's offensive line, you should, I hope you can see it over the video, but these running backs are just sitting there waiting for an opening. They're not guessing. Oh, penalty on Fort Leboeuf.
Yep, there's a 15-yard face mask again on the Bison.
Yeah, and I think that was his quickness that caused that, because that kid was shifting left and right really, really well.
Yep.
And I think the Bison are just trying to grab anything, and they just happen to get the mask.
Absolutely. But
the GM's offensive line is dominating. Now, it won't surprise me here, like they did last time after this penalty. Are they going to try to go deep? It seems like that's what GM's MO is after a big penalty like that.
Right. First down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Carroll lined up in the backfield, or in the shotgun. Man to his left. He's hands off, and he's almost caught in the backfield. Makes a man miss, and Walters finally drags him down at the 49 after a gain of 3 for Nick Swenson.
That was a great tackle by Walters. He just grabbed the jersey and had enough strength to bring him down.
Yep. And there's a handoff again for Swenson up the middle. And he gets across the 40 to the 37-yard line.
He didn't even get past all of his own offensive linemen until he was near the first down marker.
Yep.
That's how good that blocking was.
Yep. First and 10. Handoff, flag at the snap, probably against General McLane. Maybe an illegal shift or illegal motion. But yeah, Fort McLean came into this game with 5 running backs with over 100 yards rushing on the season.
General McLean did?
Yeah. And so, you can see in this game they've had multiple backs that have been used in the offense, and that penalty was on Fort Leboeuf.
Well, with it being 21-13 with 7:25 in the third quarter, they have a chance to add to those stats and to keep that consistent at this point.
Yep, and that'll give the Lancers a free 5 yards here.
Okay, so that's another penalty.
Yep.
Keeps the drive going.
And last week they had 10 penalties. They're approaching that number right now, as that's their 8th penalty of the game.
Yeah, I think it's too much to ask for a penalty-free game
at
the high school level or at any level, honestly. But
you got to limit them to less than 10, that's for sure. Especially when you're playing a good team. As Caro takes the snap, hands it to Beachley, and he's hit in the backfield, and he will be stopped for maybe a loss of a yard. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. But that will set up a second down and long as for General McLean is back up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Sadowski and Huck tackled him, but the guy before that, he got stiff-armed. And that little running back, that shifty running back, has some powerful stiff arm.
He is. Second down and 11 to 28. Carroll's looking at the sidelines to get some direction. Beachley lined up right behind him. Fakes the handoff, pass over the middle, and he breaks a couple tackles, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
It was almost like the two defenders. One hit him, and the other one hit him and kept him up.
Yep, he just pinballed between the two. And that will make the score 27-13 pending the extra point.
There's so many weapons on their team. They're not just going to one guy every time. They're spreading the ball out.
Absolutely. And that was a nice pitch and catch there as he made the catch and bounced off 2 different receivers to get into the end zone, or 2 different defenders to get into the end zone.
It's hard for me to believe that GM won't make it deep into the playoffs this year.
Absolutely. They got a lot
They
of
don't
talent.
have a weakness. They just don't have a weakness.
Yep, and that extra point is good to make the score 28-13 with 6 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
So that's 4 drives and 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
well, they had the punt.
Oh, that's right. They had one punt. Okay, 4 or 5.
So.
All right, we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
Well, 28-13. So, in theory, Fort Leboeuf gets a touchdown and a two-pointer, another touchdown and a two-pointer, they're in this. But that is if GM doesn't score again, which seems highly unlikely.
Yep, here's the kick. It's deep, but it's not going to make, well, it bounces at the goal line. Xavier Blows chose to let the ball go into the end zone to start the drive at the 20. So that's where the Bison will begin their second drive of the second half.
Now, obviously, with Sadowski's big run, you want that. But there's something different about that kind of run as opposed to that super long drive they had earlier in the game.
Yep.
Where that kind of just wears down the defense. But you see GM rotating players like clockwork.
Yeah, they have a pretty deep roster, so they can move guys in and out at will. Let's see if the Bison can answer back. Down by 15 here, midway through the third quarter. Walters takes the snap, hands it off to Blows. He's hitting the backfield, breaks a couple tackles, up over the 20. He's got a first down over the 30 to the 32-yard line. And that was a nice run by Xavier Blows there.
Yep.
Break a couple tackles in the backfield.
Fort Leboeuf's running backs are starting to make the first guy miss, which is always a necessity by your running back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But something they were having a hard time doing, and now it seems like they're getting a feel for it.
Absolutely. And they said that he went out of bounds at the 30, but it is still a first down. Walters under center. He takes the snap, hands off up the middle. No, he kept it again. He is very good at that play action there.
Flag.
And there's a late flag.
This I would assume is against GM now.
That's what I would guess.
Walters got twisted up there pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if there's unnecessary roughness or personal foul, hit to the head on GM. So that will give the Bison a first down and 15 yards. So that will move the ball into GM territory.
Yeah, the question like we were talking about at the beginning of the game, can Walters' speed and dexterity and his cardiovascular system handle playing this defense and playing quarterback throughout a whole game?
Absolutely.
When GM has so many players that they can rotate.
Yep, that sets them up at the 47-yard line of the Lancers. First down and 10. Walters under center. He takes the snap, hands it off around the end, and that is, I think, Xavier Blows, who is cut down in the backfield for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Caden Haller got him as soon as he caught the ball. He really didn't have anywhere to go on that one.
Yep, he faked the handoff to Sadowski up the middle and tried to get Blows around the end, but Haller was not fooled on that one, as that sets the ball back at the 49, second down and 12. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bison trail by 15, 28-13. As Sadowski gets it up the middle, he is tripped up after about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Cohen Beachley on the tackle, and that's hard to do, to bring Sadowski down by yourself.
Absolutely.
But he went low. It looked like Sadowski tripped over his entire body, to be honest with you.
Yep, that gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up a third down and 10. And have to think this is 4-down territory again, as they are in General McLane territory at the 47-yard line, third and 10. Walters fakes the handoff. He's going to roll to the left. He has a man, but it's overthrown. He had his Xavier Blows, but he just could not connect with him there.
I don't feel like that play action worked nearly as effectively as maybe it could have if it came off of a really good run.
Right.
But they haven't run that play in quite some time, so I don't blame the coach for going that way. But
on third and 10, you're not going to fool too many teams with play action because they know you're not going to hand it off. So,
I mean, probably not. So what kind of play do you dial up here when you know the defenders have a little bit more speed and you got to go third and long?
Yeah.
I would personally try a screen pass to the halfback.
Yep. Fourth down and 10. Huge play here. He rolls out to the left, and the play is blown dead right at the snap. And no, timeout.
Okay, good.
Okay, not a penalty, but a timeout for Leboeuf. So they're going to go to the sidelines to talk about this, and we will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 sports stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
All right, we're back here. Big play here for the Bison as they have a 4th down and 10 at the 47-yard line, trailing 28-13 with 4:10 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and if they try to throw for the first down, throw downfield, push the ball downfield, watch for GM to try to go for an interception. If they run the ball or do a screen, they're probably just going to go for the tackle.
Yeah, 2 receivers out to the left as Walters takes the snap. He's going to run it up. He finds a man, and he underthrows him.
He was wide open.
He was. That was Xavier Blows out there on the left sideline.
That was the perfect call by the coach.
Yep.
He was wide open. I haven't seen that play tonight.
He had him open, but he just could not get it to him. He just underthrew him.
Yeah, it looked like he was aiming it again.
Yep.
And you can't do, when you play quarterback, as hard as it is, and I know they're under a lot of pressure. I'm not knocking anybody, because this is a tough team to play against. And if I was getting hit by some of these GM players, I'd be aiming the ball too. But you just have to trust yourself. You have to trust your instincts, and you just have to let it rip.
Absolutely. And I honestly think he might have been able to run for the first down if he would have wanted to. There's a short pass, and he's going to get knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. But, yeah, I thought Walters was going to try to run for that. And if he'd have made 1 or 2 men miss, he might have been able to get the first down on his own on that last play.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate a receiver being wide open, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he just had a fraction of a second to set a little bit more.
He hurried a little bit.
Well, he had to. There was a guy definitely breathing down his neck.
Yep. We got 2nd down and 9 here. GM at the 48-yard line. 3.5 to go here in the third quarter. Caro takes a snap, rolls to the right, has a man out in the flat. He's got close to a first down, and they're going to mark it a yard short. And that was Jared Corwin on the reception. So that's going to set up a 3rd down and 1 at the Fort Leboeuf 44-yard line.
Do you do an all-out blitz here? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, another short pass. He's got the first down and not much more. He got about 4 yards, but that is enough for a first down. And they are killing them with those short passes. But
well, their receivers are so big that when they're blocking on these wide receiver screens, it's just so hard for the defenders to run around them. And because they're so large and strong, it's hard for them to fight through the block.
Absolutely. And there's a fake handoff and a shovel pass up the middle to Corwin. And he fights up the middle for about 6 before he is brought down by a host of Fort Leboeuf players. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 as they are right back up to the line of scrimmage.
Well, and GM is getting a ton of variety.
There's a handoff up the middle. He is hit, but he falls forward for, I believe, another first down.
Yeah, GM is moving so fast, and they have so many different plays that they're running. It's almost impossible for the Bisons to anticipate what they're going to do.
Yeah, it is. As Caro's back in an empty backfield. And now they shift into a more conventional set as Cohen Beachley goes into the backfield. And he's going to pitch out to Beachley. He's got some running room, but it closes quickly. And he gains about 2 yards up to the 28-yard line.
Good gang tackle. You can see the hands are on the hips for the Bison. And that's in the way they're walking, they're feeling a little gassed right now. I see 5 or 6 players out there. And that's really where GM wants them to be, and that was their whole game plan, was to exhaust them.
Absolutely. And down by 15, they can't afford to give up any score on this drive. Even a field goal puts it up to a 3-possession game. As Caro takes the snap, hands off inside. He's got some running room around the outside, and he is run out of bounds, but not before he picks up another first down. And that was Nick Swenson on the run. And that will set them up at the 18-yard line as they hurry up again to the line of scrimmage. Caro in the back and in the pistol formation with Beachley to his right and behind him. Hands off to Beachley. Up the middle.
Yeah, and as you see right now, the offensive line for GM, the running back's not even thinking about passing his own offensive lineman. Like, the last offensive lineman that he passes is 5 yards down the field every time.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe more.
Yep.
And so, like, how do you stop a running attack like that? The running back isn't even running hard right now.
Yep.
He doesn't have to. He's just being patient and letting the blockers do the job.
Yep. Got Swenson in the backfield. He fakes the handoff. He's going to throw for the end zone.
Wow.
And it is caught. Wow. By number 11, Caden Haller.
Folks, when you talk about having quarterback accuracy, the defenders were all over him. He probably had, I don't know how wide a football is, but he probably had 1 inch or 2 inches more than what the width of the football was between the hands. And it was right there, right on the numbers.
Absolutely.
Put it right in the breadbasket between those defenders, and it was such a casual throw.
Yep.
It's
he was covered on the play too. It's not like he was wide open, but he just has a knack of putting that ball right where it needs to be thrown.
I will have to say, and the kick is good. I'll have to say, GM's quarterback right now is the most QB ready type guy for college that we've seen this season.
Absolutely.
He's running the offense. He's telling people where to go. He's making changes. He's making the right reads. Now, is it easy with a team like GM? Sure. I could probably quarterback a few throws there, and I'm not that good. But he's strong. He's quick. And you can tell he knows what he's doing before the ball is snapped. And when you have that kind of talent and that kind of ability around you,
absolutely,
it's so hard to stop.
Yep, it makes it so much easier for the quarterback. But that makes the score 35-13. General McLane with 37 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Well, and I will say, outside of these penalties, Fort Leboeuf, I believe, is probably getting the most out of what they're capable of this evening. They've really, if they had a little bit more depth, they might be able to hang a little bit closer with GM, but they have everything. They don't have a weakness anywhere.
And that kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. And one of the big things too is most of Fort Leboeuf's offensive skill players are also key defensive players, which you have that a lot in high school. But with the way GM's running that no-huddle offense today, it's just tough because they're, Sadowski and Walters and Black, they're all expending so much energy on defense. And then when it comes to offense, it's tough to bring that back.
Well, it really is. And you're just, even on that great touchdown drive, they had over 16 plays. That's still exhausting.
Absolutely.
That's a grind.
Yep. As Walters lines up under center.
Ooh. Did we get GM?
There was some movement there.
I feel like that's a late flag. I feel like that's GM.
I think so, yep.
They pointed really quick, like, ooh, Fort Leboeuf. But I think that one was on them. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to pin their ears back. They're going to try to jump the snap. They're going to try to get turnovers and sacks and really put this game away right now. Because if they make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. 35-13. They can still feel pretty comfortable with 35-20.
Yeah.
35-21.
Exactly.
So I think what you're going to see is a little bit more risk taking.
And that 5 yards gives them a first down and 5 here at the 25. Walters under center again. Black in motion. He hands it off to Sadowski up the middle. He's got the first down. And he is tackled at the 32-yard line for a first down for about 7 yards.
He just quietly slithered right through that line.
He did.
It was almost like he grabbed his own lineman's back and was pushing off of him a little bit.
Yep.
He's really impressed me. He's not just a power back.
Absolutely.
He can do. He's shifty, and he can turn on the jets when he needs to. He might not be the fastest guy, but he's football fast.
Absolutely.
He knows the angles.
Yep.
He knows what to do with the ball when he has it.
And the Bison will let the clock run out on the third quarter, and that will be the end of the third quarter with the Bison trailing 35-13.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
All right, we are back here for fourth quarter action here as the Bison try to make their comeback here in the fourth quarter, down by 22 points. And outside of the Farrell game, this is really the first game all year that they've really been outmatched by an opponent.
Yeah, I think against that Grove City game, Grove City didn't win that game. Fort Leboeuf lost it.
Absolutely.
In this game, GM is winning this game.
Yep, they are taking it to the Bison. And Walters fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man open. It's caught at the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mikey Vamaro.
That was so needed. And they had that play earlier where he just overthrew him. They really like running the post route. They really like the nice long post route.
Absolutely. And that was a 68-yard pass and catch for Walters to Vamaro.
So now, are they going to go for two?
It looks like they might.
I think they have
Still
to.
have the offense out there.
I think they almost have to with the way the kicking game's been and with the score being what it is.
Yep, that makes it 35-19.
Because they're down by 16 right now.
Yep. So they are going to line up to go for two here to try to cut it to 14 points. Still lots of time left. 11:49 to go in the fourth quarter. And Walters in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to pitch it to Sadowski. He's got a head of steam, and he's in. Is close. And he's in.
All right.
They give him the conversion. And that is a huge play there as they cut the lead to 21, maybe.
Are they talking about it?
As there's a whistle.
Did you see the hands go up?
I saw the one referee call touchdown, or call good, but they are, I don't know what's going on. They call a no play? Or penalty on Fort Leboeuf. I didn't see what the penalty was, but
they might have to pass it now.
They're moving the ball back to the 7, and now they're going to bring out the extra point, the kicking
So that's
team.
another penalty.
So that hurts.
That's 8 penalties.
But even the extra point cuts it to 15. It's still a 2-possession game. So Lucas Kantz has only missed 2 extra points on this season. He's had some trouble with field goals, but that ball is up and good. So
but they're still leaving plays on the field with these penalties.
Absolutely.
And these penalties are unnecessary.
Yep.
All right, we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
Yep, and that cuts the lead to 35-20.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs, and much more. Located at 319 High Street in Waterford and 104 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at FamilyInkInnovations.com. Phone 814-462-6628. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks Family Ink Innovations for their support.
It looked like a few extra seconds ran off the clock, maybe a little home field advantage, but honestly, with 11:44 left in the fourth quarter, 35-20, the Bison are going to need a lot of bounces going their way, and they absolutely, positively, under no circumstance, can they have another penalty.
Absolutely.
If they are going to have a miracle happen tonight, they have to play flawless from this point forward.
I'd like to see a surprise onside right here. I think that would surprise everybody and get the ball back in midfield.
Well, honestly, if GM's going to score, let him score quick.
Right. On a game like this, you need to maximize your number of possessions.
Do you remember when the Steelers played Green Bay when Rodgers was there at a home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers? And Tomlin literally let them score because he didn't trust the defense.
Right, absolutely. And here's the kick, and he kicks it deep. It's going to be in the field. Oh, nope, it goes into the end zone.
And I think that if they had that mindset, that's not a bad mindset because the Pittsburgh Steelers won that game on the final play. Yeah. But I do like that they had the courage to push the ball down the field.
Absolutely. So that'll set them up first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 35-20 is the score. General McLane with the lead. And like I said, lots of time left. If they can stop General McLane on a possession or two and get the ball back, both teams have shown that they can score quickly. So,
hey, a tip ball, a player on GM side slipping, things can happen real fast.
Although Caro comes into this game with only 2 interceptions all year, so he is taking care of the ball as he hands off up the left side, and Swenson is fighting, and he gets the first down. He got about 8 yards after contact on that play.
Well, and see, they got to worry about that deep pass so much that they're playing their safeties deeper, and that's going to make the running game so much easier, especially with this very strong GM offensive line.
Absolutely. First down and 10 at the 31-yard line. Caro still back in the shotgun. Motion. And here's a handoff up the middle, and he splits the defenders, and Walters makes the tackle right at the first down marker. It's going to be maybe a half a yard short, and that'll bring up a second down and very short.
36, the running back for GM, Charlie Bennett. That kid is quicker than an alley cat going through garbage.
Although there was a holding call on the play, I didn't even see the flag, so that will bring it back. And instead of a 2nd and 1, that's going to bring up a 1st and 20. So another big play.
I really wish I was Coach McCormick. He has so many talented players. Who do you give the ball to?
Yep, and that's what makes them so tough because they can rotate guys in, and so they're always going to have a fresh guy back there to run the ball. And even when they have multiple guys in there, you don't know who's going to get the ball.
Honestly, I don't see. Well, I'll save my comment for the next play.
There's a pitch out, and there's a flag at the outset of the play as he rounds the corner, gets up to the 30, to the 35. But like I said, there was a penalty.
That was a hard tackle.
That was.
And the coach for GM, McCormick, is very upset, thinking it was an unnecessary hit out of bounds. But I think he got him in bounds.
It was in bounds. I mean, I think he's upset because he thinks he slammed him to the ground. But it was just a good football play there. As the penalty once again goes on against GM is for illegal motion. So that's going to bring up a first down and 25, yeah.
And that running back is so quick. 35-20, fourth quarter, 10:34 on the running clock. Running the ball is exactly what they probably should be doing. I wouldn't really be pushing the ball down the field necessarily unless you got wide open. Right now, I'd just keep the short passes in the running game going because you're not going to get GM causing these many penalties over and over.
Absolutely. Here's a handoff up the middle, and he is.
That might have been a horse. I'm hearing some of the fans asking for a horse collar.
I think he got him around the neck, but he didn't really get the back of his jersey for a horse collar.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he didn't get the face mask, so it was a good play. As he gains a couple. Well, maybe not. Maybe about one. So it's
2nd and 25.
2nd down, and
they're still keeping it at 25.
Yep. So call it no gain on that play.
Now they might. I assume they would get a few more yards on that run play. They might have to push the ball down the field a little bit.
Yeah. The scoreboard says 3rd down, but it is 2nd down.
2nd and 22. They changed it.
And there's a pass. Oh, almost intercepted. Caught And he's going to be gone for a General McLane touchdown.
Oh, did he get in?
I think he still got it. But
ladies and gentlemen, that was the tip pass they needed. And it went right into the receiver's hands.
Yep.
That was the play the defense needed.
They are going to mark him short at the 1 yard line. But
when you hear these GM fans want that touchdown, and I don't blame them.
Yep. But
they're going to hurry up and they're just going to punch it in.
Yep. But that was the play they needed. And he is stopped at the goal line. So
wow.
They still have 3 more shots, but for now he is stopped.
See, when you're playing a great team, you need the ball to bounce your way, and that just didn't bounce their way. That went right to his numbers like a magnet.
Yep. And even if it fell to the ground, they still had 3rd and 22.
We have a hurt player.
Yep. So we will
for Leboeuf.
Yep. We will take a break.
A word from our sponsor.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Okay, so they are bringing a stretcher out. We were not able to see a number for which player it is. The GM team went directly to kneeling down. The Fort Leboeuf, some of the players ran right over next to the player that was down after the injury and flagged for the staff to come out. You have GMs, trainers out there as well.
Yeah, you hate to see this, as we can't tell if he's moving anything, but they have him all surrounded. But
yeah, and we're not sure which player it is, and we really apologize for that. Hopefully this stretcher is just for precautionary reasons.
Absolutely. But yeah, they were calling for the stretcher and the medical personnel pretty quickly.
Right. We're going to have another message from our sponsor, and while we listen to that, we will try to let you know which player is injured.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs.
Okay, I'm stopping the announcement from the sponsor just because I wanted you guys to hear the crowd clapping. It looks like they were able to get some movement there. Obviously, everyone's cheering for this player to be in the best case scenario.
So the medical personnel are standing up. I can't tell if the player's still on the ground or if they got him standing up. Okay, he is getting up and walking off.
Is that number 5, Blows?
Can't tell.
It's hard to see.
Couldn't tell if that was 5 or 9 or.
Well, and zooming in with the camera, it's too grainy.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's 5 or 9. It's a single digit.
But he was able to get up and walk off the field, so luckily the stretcher was not needed.
We'll continue to look at the sidelines to see if we can figure out what the number is. Yeah, luckily the stretcher was not needed. You never like to see that, so that's a real positive sign.
Absolutely. Well, back to the action at hand, and we have a 2nd down and goal at the 1-yard line for General McLane. 9 minutes, 9 seconds to go. 35-20, Lancers lead. And they break the huddle. And Caro takes the snap, hands it off to the receiver around the end, and he's in for a touchdown. And that will make the score 41-20 as the extra point is coming up.
And for as exciting as this game is, when an injury happens, and luckily he wasn't on the stretcher, but you see the stretcher, it kind of changes the energy of everything.
Absolutely.
Well, they're definitely getting the fireworks going, trying to change that feel.
Yep. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good to make the score 42-20 with 8 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter.
And we'll have another word from our sponsor.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs, and much more. Located at 319 High Street in Waterford and 104 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at FamilyInkInnovations.com. Phone 814-462-6628. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks Family Ink Innovations for their support.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
Well, and GM has reached their quota point-wise for the day, 42-20. So they are who we thought they were.
Absolutely, and that kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And once again, as soon as we can find out which player was injured, we will let you know. And there's been a lot of coaches and trainers around the player. It's very hard to see the number.
Although it looked like Sadowski was back on the kickoff to return the kickoff, and usually Blos is out there. So
yeah, I thought it was number 5.
I'm thinking you were right with number 5. So I believe it was Xavier Blos that was injured on the last series.
I'm just so impressed with how the trainers get out there immediately and how on point everybody is, from the coaches to the trainers. It's really impressive how much they put into taking care of these players.
Yep. And Walters takes the snap. He's going to run it himself up over the 20 to the 25. He's got a head of steam over the 30, first down, and up to the 34-yard line. As that's the best run for Walters for the game.
Well, down by 22 with the 42-20, 8 minutes, 30-some seconds left. They might have to do Wildcat just so they can out-block GM.
Yeah, and they're going to have to score quick, too.
The question is, can Walters handle the punishment after such a long game that he's already given so much energy?
Absolutely. Walters again back in the shotgun. Sadowski to his left. Bartone goes in motion, hands it off to Sadowski. He's up with the middle. He gains about 9 yards as he broke a few tackles right at the line of scrimmage. And Sadowski is just continuing to run hard here in the second half.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife. You want him to run fast, he can run fast. You want him to sidestep and juke and spin move, he can do that. Want him to catch the ball, he can do that. Want him to run over people?
Mm-hmm.
You want him to stiff arm, drop a shoulder?
Absolutely. That puts a 2nd down and 1 as he gained 9 on that play. Walters takes the snap, fakes the handoff, this time to Sadowski, trying to find some room, and he is dropped and sacked for a loss of about 3.
You know, he was sacked, but he should have been sacked about a second sooner.
Yeah.
His pocket presence tonight has been very, very good.
Yeah,
he feels
he
the
made
pressure.
a couple people miss on that play.
Yeah, he's moving around very, very well. Even though he took the sack there, that was not on him.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 4 at their own 41-yard line, trailing 42-20. Under 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
I'm not sure if that rolling against the grain, having to twist his body and make those throws, I don't know that that's the best play with this speedy defense.
Walters is going to try to run for it here, and he is close to a 1st down, and it looks like they will give him the 1st down.
Yeah, he had the ball sticking out.
They haven't moved the chains yet,
because it's where the ball,
where they're marking it is a 1st down.
It's where the ball is when he goes out, not where his feet are. So he was really smart with that, and the GM defender held back because I don't think he wanted to get a penalty.
Absolutely, I thought he was going to get lit up there.
I thought so too,
but he was able to duck under him, and
I'm appreciative that they did not do that.
Absolutely, that sets them up 1st and 10 at the 44. Walters takes the snap. He pitches it out to Sadowski. He turns the corner and gets about 3 yards.
They said he fell in bounds. The clock's still running with 42:20 left, or as a score, 42-20, 6:20 left in the game.
Yeah, that was about a 2-yard gain up to the 46. The Bison running out of time here midway through the 4th quarter, down by 3 scores.
And say what you want about the penalties and maybe some of the missed opportunities, but Fort Leboeuf has never stopped grinding all year.
Absolutely. Walters takes the snap, hands it off to Sadowski, breaks through the line, and he gains about 7 yards up to the 47-yard line of the Lancers. And they're going to mark it at the 48. So about a 6-yard gain for Sadowski, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and short.
Well, you can tell. Look at the 3 DBs around between the 40 and 45-yard line. They're playing back. Oh, now they moved one up a little bit. But they're definitely playing 2 safeties deep, occasionally 3.
Absolutely.
So I think they're okay with them running the ball.
Definitely. Walter's going to take it himself on the quarterback keeper, and he gains about 4 up to the 43-yard line, 1st down. And you are right. The Lancers are okay with the Bison just taking their time here. They just don't want to give up the big play.
It's no different than being on offense and running the clock down to 1 before you hike the ball and you just run up the middle every time.
Yep.
They're trying to save their players too, so I think they're just going to let them run the ball.
Absolutely. Under 5 to play here. 1st down and 10 for the Bison. Let's see if they take a shot here. As Walters under center. Black goes in motion. Walters is going to roll out to the right. He's going to run it himself. He gets the 1st down and out of bounds for a gain of about 11. And is there a flag on the play? I think I heard.
Well, if it was picked up because they're moving the 1st down markers.
Okay, yeah. So that's a gain of 11 for Walters.
And I'll tell you what, for how this game ended with the injury and kind of everything getting kind of a calmer emotional state, this has been a heck of a game, even though the score is 42-20.
It has been. And there's a handoff to he keeps it, and he gets about 3 yards around the end. As this is Walter's best running game of the year so far. But yeah, it just shows you how close, that one tipped pass. If that goes for an interception instead of a touch or down to the 1 yard line, Fort Leboeuf's right in this ball game.
Well, and that's I think that whoever invented this game and making the football, I know that it was more rounded when it started, but whoever decided to make it such an awkward shape with weird bounces just added to the excitement of this game.
Absolutely. There's a pass to the right, and that's complete for about a 7-yard gain up to the 22-yard line.
And that was to number 10, which we have not called his number much, Dominic Wolfarth.
Yep. So, yeah, he's had a few catches this year, but, yeah, he's not one of their main guys. But that's puts them at the 22-yard line, 3:22 to go here in the fourth quarter, 42-20, the Bison trail. Walters under center, and he fakes the handoff, and he takes it around the left end.
That might have been the hardest hit I've ever seen Sadowski take. Was that Sadowski? Got it?
Yeah.
And he's on the ground.
Hurt.
He's hurt, and he didn't even have the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, Sadowski is slow to get up. He does get up and walk off the field. But,
yeah.
But that was a hard hit there, as they are going to.
That kid is one of the toughest kids I've ever seen. I think he eats nails for breakfast.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to stay down. There was another time that he was hurt a little bit, and you just saw him get angry.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm just not going to accept this.
Right. Yeah.
And that's very courageous and admirable. But I just hope he doesn't cross that fine line. If he needs to take a breather, I hope he takes it.
That sets up a 2nd down and 5. Time running out for the Bison, down by 3 scores. Walters takes the snap, hands it to Black, and he stumbles forward for about no gain. Gets back to about the line of scrimmage, as that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, and just like the Farrell game, obviously this is going to bring their record down. This isn't the record they were hoping for. But when you play an incredibly talented team, it can compel you forward. I know it's hard to say that twice, but it really can. It can make you raise your game.
Absolutely. And, you know, the two teams that they've really gotten outplayed by this year, Farrell and General McLane, as Walters rolls out, and he's going to get stopped for about a 2-yard gain. Was there a fumble on that?
No, I think they're just cheering for the tackle, but
Right.
I think Walters was looking for a face mask and it wasn't called, and I think that's what the cheer was for.
Right. But
oh no, they're announcing some of the raffle tickets.
Okay. But the two games where Fort Leboeuf has really gotten beat badly, Farrell and General McLane, neither one of them are in their classification. So, you know, they've played well against the AAA teams that they've gone against this year. So, and they're going to try a field goal, and there's a bad snap, and that's going to be recovered back at the 38-yard line. And that is, I guess, a fitting way for this game to come to an end.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, as they've had trouble with their
you don't want your kicker diving on a ball and then having linemen jump on top of them. That's not especially in a game you're not going to win.
Yeah, they've had trouble with the center snaps on field goals and extra points all season, and that was just unfortunate. As General McLane is just going to run out the clock and kneel on the ball. They'll have to kneel on it one more time as the clock reaches 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But
Bisons, you have nothing to feel ashamed about.
But like I said, you know, they only have one loss against the AAA team this year, and that was Grove City. And that's a game that they could have and or should have won.
Yes.
So
I think they could have beat Grove City.
Yep.
If they reduced the penalties alone,
absolutely.
I think that would have put them in a position where they could have won.
Absolutely. And you know, they're still in first place in their region. They're still 2-0 in region play, as they will get back to region play next week. Their next 3 games are in the region. So the next 3 weeks are going to go a long ways towards determining who makes the playoffs.
All right, so we play General McLane today. We have Fairview next week. at Fairview. Then we're at home against Harbor Creek. So October 3rd, Fairview, away. October 10th, home against Harbor Creek. October 17th, away at Girard. And October 24th against Mercier's Prep. So they have a chance to still make a statement.
Absolutely.
And try to find a way to get into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And like I said, they're 3-3 overall as they fell 42-20 today to the General McLane Lancers. But, they're 3-3 overall, but they're 2-0 in the region. They're still in good shape to make a run in the playoffs. Last year they lost on a last-second field goal in the playoffs to Corry, and I'm sure the returning players from last year's team want another shot at the playoffs to get that taste out of their mouth. So,
absolutely. But here's the thing: just as GM is who we thought they were, I think Fort Leboeuf is showing us who they are, and they're a team that has a good defense, a good ground game, can get an occasional splash play in the pass, but they're also a team that gets a lot of penalties. And that really is their Achilles heel right now. And I don't know what you do to overcome that. I don't know if you change positions, you change players, you change your coaching scheme. But what they did tonight, when they put that long drive together, is they had a lot of misdirection, a lot of good blocking, and a lot of consistency. And consistency is the most important thing anytime you're trying to achieve any goal.
Absolutely.
I like that they come out at halftime. I like that they're emotional. But at the end of the day, that passion lasts a little bit. But if you're consistent, it's going to carry you through a lot longer. And I just really feel like this is once again going to propel them forward. But how well? Because Fairview typically has a decent team. Harbor Creek, Girard. I know the Girard coach. I used to teach with him. He's an amazing coach. He used to coach at Northwestern, and he had great results there. As a matter of fact, one of the students I taught, Ryan Toole, set passing records with him as his coach. So you still have some really tough games ahead of you, and if you're going to keep doing the same mistakes, they're just going to let you. And the other team's going to plan and say, listen, I don't have to beat you. I'm going to let you beat yourself.
Absolutely.
And that makes it real easy on the other team. So how are they going to fix that? I don't know. But they're going to need to. And then if you look at GM, they have everything at every position. They got power. They got speed. Their blocking was phenomenal. And they weren't pancake blocking people to the ground. They were just steering them backwards. So the amount of strength that GM has in their legs, their ability to run, they didn't look like the biggest team. And when you look at their roster, you don't have overly large players with incredible heights. But what you do have is you have a lot of kids that are farmer strong.
Right.
And they can go the whole game. And they're just so very impressive. And McCormick, I just have to give him a lot of credit. I could really see this guy. I hope he stays with GM. I hope he spends a whole career with them, and I hope he has a dynasty. But it wouldn't surprise me if in a year or 2 or 3 you see this gentleman go up to a higher level in coaching, and you really see him make a name for himself because he has a passion and he knows what he's doing. He's good at his job.
Absolutely. And like I said, coming into this game, he was 27-11 in his 3.5-year career with GM. So he's obviously doing something right. But yeah.
Well, and the kids love him. When you talk to the kids from GM, they absolutely love the coach. They listen to every word he says, and he is very straightforward with them.
Right.
And when you have a coach that's honest and knows what he's doing, it's easy. If a player knows that you're going to be honest with them and you're going to give them a fair shot as anybody else, they can get inspired for that. They can get motivated for that.
Yep. So, like you said, Fort Leboeuf plays Fairview next week. Fairview beat Seneca 19-7 tonight. Or actually last night. They played Thursday night.
Fairview beat Seneca?
Seneca, yeah, 19-7. But that was only their second win of the year. So they come into the game or the game next week at 2-4.
Well, and then
so that's definitely a game that the Bisons
we could win.
should be able to
but
handle.
when you're only having 2 wins this late in the season, then you have nothing to lose. You can start playing a little riskier, which always makes it a little troublesome for the other team.
Exactly. And Harbor Creek was 2-3 coming into this week. Let me see what they're doing right now, if their game's over yet. But the Bison play Harbor Creek the following week, which Harbor Creek is leading 20-14 over Slippery Rock right now. So that'll be their 3rd win of the year if they can finish that game off. So yeah, at this point of the season, though, you can't take anything for granted. You know what I mean?
No.
And so even though they only have 1 loss within their classification, it is against Grove City, which will give Grove City the edge at the end of the season, most likely when it comes to playoffs. So, they need to win every game that they can going forward.
Well, and here's the thing. It's going to be must-watch TV, must-listen to YouTube radio, right?
Absolutely.
It's going to be riveting to the end because they're going to get at least a couple more wins under their belt. They're a tough football team. They have a don't-quit attitude in Fort Leboeuf. So the question is, are they going to learn from their mistakes? And that's the hardest thing to do. Because these guys have been playing since they were little kids.
Absolutely.
And their minds are used to playing a certain way. And they're not as old as me where I'm getting set in my ways. But, that can happen. And that can make it hard to change.
Yeah.
Even when you're a high school ball player. But I think the coach has his finger on the pulse of the team. They're all coming together right now. It looks like they might be saying a little prayer for the player that was hurt. I think it was Blos, number 5. And, they're going to come together. One thing you can tell about Fort Leboeuf is that they care about one another.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you have a team that cares, anything can happen. Miracles can happen. So
absolutely.
I think they might have a really good chance of righting the ship.
They definitely do. And but yeah, the one thing they need to clean up is the penalties. This is the 3rd straight week where they've had 10+ penalties, and you do that at any level of football, it's gonna be tough to win.
Well, just play that one drive. Over the 16 play drive. I wish I knew exactly how many plays it was. It's probably like 18. Just play that over and over again. I wish we had those glasses that were the TV glasses.
Yep,
and just that play. No penalties. They didn't have any pancake blocks, but they just executed the way the coach was asking.
Absolutely.
And that was enough against a really good defense.
Yep.
They don't need to go above and beyond. They can play within themselves and still play great football, but it's hard to tell that to a high school kid.
Absolutely. Yeah, that drive was 3 yards in a cloud of dust every play, and if they could just replicate that's a good recipe for success. But
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a great night. We're going to be back October 3rd, like we said, against Fairview. So please listen in. And I want to thank you for listening to our Corry Federal Credit Union post-game show. And we will look forward to seeing you next week.
Have a great night.
Thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast of Fort Leboeuf Bison football on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Be sure to join us all season at sunny1057fm.org.
Additional support comes from Brozell Construction, Family Inc. Innovations, Leboeuf Creek Cattle, Waterford Beverage, Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill, High T Fence Systems, O'Brien Transmission, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Jim Brozell Construction, Wise Physical Therapy, and Al's Appliance Sales and Service.